A young enslaved girl, a cranky, overlooked prophet, a puny little river. The girl, she's an Israelite born several hundred years before Jesus into a time of war. Her nation is smaller, weaker than its enemy. Its army loses battle after battle. Enemy raiding parties intrude into Israelite land, grabbing booty and capturing prisoners. And on one of these raids, the girl is caught. She is taken to the home of the enemy's commander, where she serves the commander's wife as a slave. She is the lowest of the low in this household. The commander seems to have everything: success, money, power, position. But what he doesn't have is clean skin. The Israelite girl has seen skin like this before, rotting white flesh that looks like a dead body. Her people call it leprosy. When one of her people has leprosy, they can't worship or eat with others or even enter a house where others are gathered. She knows how to cure leprosy, though. Send the sufferer to the Israelite prophet Elisha. Elisha is so perfectly aligned with the power of God that he can multiply loaves of bread, remove poison from food, even raise the dead. Healing skin diseases is nothing for him. The enslaved girl yearns to go home. She knows how desperate the commander is for a cure. He's seen every doctor between Babylon and the ocean, and no one has been able to help. Perhaps if the girl mentions Elisha's gifts to her mistress, and the commander goes to Elisha and is made well, perhaps she'll be set free. It's a long shot, but it seems worth the risk. The girl has learned enough of her enemy's language to be understood, more or less. So she says to the commander's wife, "If only my Lord were with the prophet who is in Samaria, in Israel, he would cure the leprosy." To the girl's surprise, the commander's wife listens. Then the commander listens to his wife. A flurry of activity spreads through the house, then the commander leaves. When the girl asks another enslaved prisoner what has happened, she hears, "The commander has a letter from our king, asking the Israelite king to cure him of his leprosy." The commander isn't leaving this to chance. He took 10 silver talents, 6,000 gold shekels, and 10 sets of rich clothing to convince the Israelite king to help him. In dismay, the girl realizes her message has been garbled. The Israelite king has no power from God to cure leprosy. In fact, the Israelite king hardly knows God at all. And he got so angry when Elisha chastised him for his faithlessness that he sent Elisha away from court. The commander has gone to seek healing from the wrong person. The girl's hope of freedom seems to be slipping away. The prophet. Elisha is getting on in years and getting crotchety with it. He's seen some bad kings of Israel in his time, but this one is the worst, ignoring the one true God and worshiping other gods instead, even setting up idols right in God's temple. Elisha almost welcomes his banishment. He lives quietly away from court, where he can be faithful to God and do God's work without interference. He still has friends in the palace, and one of them tells him about the enemy commander stricken with leprosy, driving up to the palace with chariots and horses, the audacious request for healing. The king reacted just as Elisha knew he would, tearing his clothes in desperation, thinking only of himself and ignoring Elisha's existence. Rolling his eyes, Elisha sends a message to the palace. "Why, O king, have you torn your clothes? Send this enemy commander to me." Soon there is a rumble of hoofbeats and chariot wheels loud enough to shake Elisha's ramshackle house. When the noise stops at the front door, Elisha sends a servant out to meet the commander and tell him to wash 7 times in the Jordan River, and he will be clean. He can hear the commander's angry reply. Your so-called prophet won't even come out to speak to me? I thought he would pray to his God, wave his hands around, and make my leprosy go away. If all I have to do is wash, I could have done that back home. The rivers of my country are better than the piddling little streams here. The commander's voice trails off as the hoofbeats resume. Elisha shrugs. He's told this rich, powerful foreigner what to do. It's up to him to do it or not. The river. The Jordan forms the eastern boundary of Israel. It is small as rivers go. It's nothing like the impressive rivers of Damascus or Babylon. The Jordan is only a few hundred feet wide, but it flows so swiftly that there are only a few places to ford it. The Jordan has seen armies before, long trains of horses and chariots and supply wagons led by great men, Joshua, David. When another train of horses and chariots pulls up to the river, the water laps around the horses' hooves. It splashes as men dismount. The commander of this group tosses his cloak to his men and wades in. The river flows over his damaged skin, soothing the itch and burn, if only for a moment. The commander immerses himself, stands, and wades out again, shaking the river from his hair. 7 times he does this, wades in, dives under, comes up, wades out. The 7th time, the river feels energy pouring into it. The Jordan thickens like molten gold. It coats the commander's body, and as it flows away, it carries the disease with it. When the commander steps back on shore, his flesh is renewed. Not only the leprosy, but sunburn and fly bites and age spots have gone, and the commander's skin is like that of a young child. The Jordan watches with satisfaction as the commander praises the God of Israel, vows to set the enslaved girl free, and mounts his horse to return to Elisha. Money could not heal Naaman. Power and position and success could not heal him. Kings could not cure him. That's the way God works. Not through the powerful and influential, not through riches or impressive titles, but through the powerless, the humble, the outsiders. God chose Moses, a murderer with a speech impediment, to lead God's people to freedom. God chose David, the youngest son, the least important, to be the greatest king of Israel. God chose Mary, a poor teenager with an upcountry accent, to be the mother of the Son of God. And God chose a young enslaved girl, a cranky overlooked prophet, and a puny little river to heal Naaman of his leprosy. When our human leaders fail us, when they fail us, not if, because all human leaders do fail, we do not lose hope. We do not despair. Because God is at work in and through the powerless, the humble, the outsiders. When we stand with them, when we become powerful and powerless and humble ourselves, we join in God's work. So God uses us to heal this broken world.